Okay.
There we go. We're good to go.
All right. So should we start with GitHub then?
Sounds good to me.
I can do my best. Hopefully I will make sense when I'm trying to explain this to you guys. I'll do my best. Sorry. All right, I'll just share my desktop. All right. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Anyways, GitHub. So this is what my GitHub desktop looks like. And okay. Sorry, my daughter is really being needy at the moment. So in the GitHub desktop, I think the beginning tutorial for everyone looks kind of like this. But what I have over here is my CIT, the personal thing that I've created for this class, and then I have the repository that we've made for our group. And so what you can do to clone a repository is go to GitHub, click this button to clone it, or you can just say open in desktop. And if you just click the open in desktop version, it should do it all for you. You can click that button and it should easily just clone it so that it opens in your GitHub desktop on its own. And if it doesn't do that for you guys, then you can, go up here to the clone button, come down here, decide where you're going to put your GitHub local repository on the computer, give it the name, and then add it. So, but since mine is already on here, I'm not going to do that twice because that would confuse things. Anyways, once you have made something for your repository, like the other day, I made, let me see, on this one, I made some practice code that I was working with. You can come up here and you can see that I made two different branches. I have my master branch, which is your GitHub repository online, and then I made a branch for what I was working on the computer at the moment, which was practicing with those checkboxes that we had played with. And if you do that, then it saves you if you make any mistakes or mess up some code. You can work with the master branch, or you can work with the code that you've been changing on your own. And I like that GitHub shows you the difference visually of what you've been working on and then the things you've been playing with. So this was my personal branch. When you've made changes in your own text editing software, I use brackets. So when you've made changes just on your own stuff here, your GitHub desktop will show the changes in this box here. And then over here, let me see if I can do this right now. Let's say that for, oh my gosh, come here, child. I've created this is very difficult to do because my daughter is whining at me. But I've just made some sort of comment here. We'll see if this shows up correctly. Oh, that's not the right comment for a CSS style sheet. Control. Addison, you're causing problems. Sorry, guys. Anyways, if you make changes in your stuff, you'll see up here on this box where my practice info is. Below that will show a thing that says name your commit, the stuff that you've just recently changed, and then you can make comments about what you've changed. Up here where this button says sync, that button will say commit instead of sync. And you can click that button and it will commit your new changes to GitHub. And then when you want to sync your personal public repository with the online repository, then you click the sync button. And it will add any changes that other people have made to your public repository. Does that make sense?
That does.
Okay. Does that help you guys at all?
That does. I'm glad we're recording this. I'm going to have to go back and watch this as I pause and play around with it as I figure it out. Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to explain, but my daughter chose this moment to be the most needy daughter in the world. She's like sticking her fingers in my ears while I'm trying to speak. It's been really difficult. Anyways.
That's all right. That was very helpful. I appreciate you taking a minute to show me.
Sorry. Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything I didn't explain very well that I can try and answer?
I think this week I'll use a desktop app and I'll get back to you.
Okay. Let me know, because I really have felt that GitHub makes it very visual on what you're doing on your personal side, your local side, and what you're doing on the server side, so that it makes more sense to use the desktop thing to commit and sync to me. So hopefully it helps you. Anyways, that's about all I have on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
And Kelly, did you have something to present today?
Yeah, I can present something.
Cool.
I think because we're doing a flashcard app, one of the things that we have to have, besides all of the colorful and things that make it visually appealing, is storage. We got to store our information, our flashcard answers, and the questions in either the local host or on an online database. And so, through some research, I'm going to share my screen somehow. Here we go. Share my screen. Show you guys what I came up with. Okay, so there's that. So I liked brackets too, but I went on to use a program called Coda. Oh, dang it. Show all windows. Okay, so this one here is a simple enter the item you want.
Okay.
And how many you want of that item. I know it's not like a question answer, but I think it has the same attributes. And so I'll just show you guys what the program is first and then explain how it becomes this way. So enter the item here. Let's say we want a new Mac. I'm going to buy 12 of those for my lucky friends. And so you go to save, and then down here in the shopping list, you have your MacBook Pro, and the value is 12. If you want to remove it, you simply type in that exact name and then do remove, and it's gone. Or if you're like, I don't want this shopping list anymore, you go down here to the very bottom, there's a little button called clear, and that'll get rid of all the items. Like that. Let's do it again. Let's just say I want apples. I need 13 apples. So I'm going to save it, and it appears right there.
Okay.
So that's what we're working with right here. So in the bottom left here, I have the HTML code for it. It starts off with the form. I'm going to call it a shopping list, and the play area is just the area that comes up for the form. What's important here is you have the item. The item is called name, and the quantity is data. And over here on the right, on the top right, we have the var name is name, and the var data is data, and we're able to not only, easily put together the data is data and name is name. I think we should do that in our app so we can easily adjust things. Oh my gosh, I'm like rambling here. Okay, anyway, guys. So I wasn't sure what this modify thing was, so I'm going to delete it. I looked online, could not find what that was. I'm going to delete that. Right here is just a dynamic. As you guys saw, it didn't come at the very top. It was kind of it was interspersed in there. So we can just copy and paste that if we want it. But the real magic happens with the remove item and with the save item up here. And the local storage. At the very bottom, local storage. I'm not really sure exactly how all this works together. I just know it works. I think with a little bit of practice, I'll understand it more. Hey, brother James, welcome.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
So I feel that in the future we can maybe change quantity to let's see to question, and then item to maybe.
Okay, yeah, that would work exactly like our supposed flashcards would work. So.
Yeah, and then.
Oh, wait, is this all through JavaScript and HTML?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's trying to keep it as simple as possible.
And somehow it stores onto the local storage, but we don't know exactly how that works yet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I don't know.
That's okay.
Anyway, so in the future, I was thinking the question and answer save remove is wonderful, and then maybe we could use a different program to make a flip card action down where the shopping list is.
Right. That would work well. And we would want each of these to be their own objects, so it's not just a list. Exactly.
Right.
But we could figure all of that out.
Right.
This will be really helpful for my senior project, just so you know. So thank you.
Oh, wonderful. When is that?
I'm doing it right now, so I'm building a website, but I don't want to pay for hosting, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
Perfect.
With local storage on my own so that I don't have to pay for hosting. It'll be great.
Awesome. Awesome.
Kelly, I have a question. Do you know if this is, so when you mean like it's stored in local storage, does that mean like you could close your browser and close the program, turn your computer off, turn your computer back on, and all the same values would still be there?
You know, I think it's in the cache.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you've cleared...
It's actually physically on your the computer, so you can close your browser and restart, and it's still there.
Yeah,
okay,
it would
great.
save. That's what I thought it would do. It'd be
Let's,
local.
yeah. So this window right here is a browser. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're using XAMPP as to run it or something like that.
Okay.
You could do that. Have you heard of XAMPP before, or XAMPP?
Yeah,
XAMPP and
I've used XAMPP.
all those other ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I used one of them when I was in my PHP class, but that was I was really pregnant that semester, and my brain wasn't working very well. So I don't remember much about PHP and XAMPP.
Hey, if you need any help with that, with remembering what that's all about, you feel free to ask, okay?
That will be really useful.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
yeah.
I'm actually using XAMPP right now to play with the code that I've been working on for my teaching presentation.
Okay.
It's just easier than uploading it to my website every single time I make a change.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, I'll be right back. My daughter needs attention for a minute. So.
Okay. Was that everything you had, Kelly?
Yes. Yeah.
Great, thank you. I think that's going to come in handy when we start diving into developing our application.
So what will you be talking about there, Michael?
I will be talking about DOM, the document object model, and I got lucky because Brother James posted a very good video about this recently, so that was helpful.
Glad you enjoyed that.
That was very good.
That was a fun piece of code that I had been looking for that piece of code for a month or probably a couple of semesters. So it was very fun to find somebody had developed it.
Yeah, that was really cool. The code that I use isn't anywhere near as cool as that one, but I came up with a few fun things.
In fact, I think I just graded your code. If you're going to be, is this where you find the parent and the child and the sibling?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I haven't even uploaded mine to my website yet, or submitted it to my learning portfolio.
All right, I was just looking at somebody else's code that was doing something similar, I guess.
Okay.
While we're in a bit of a pause here, are there any questions that y'all have that I could help you with?
Have we figured out? I noticed earlier that who was still on our drive? Florian?
Oh, Florian?
Yeah. He keeps sending me things, and so I'm wondering if he's...
That's still happening? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if he's meaning to send them to me or not, because I've been having my own Google Plus issues anyways, so maybe he is too. But...
All right, that's still an... okay, and you guys are Team 3, is that right?
Team
5, I think.
Team 5, I think.
Team 5. Okay. All
5
right.
sounds right.
Yeah.
I've got my email up right now. I'll go ping him really quick. Okay, and I've got 2 email addresses. All right, I'm going to have to research that a bit. There's 2 Florian Couches. I'm sure they're the same individual, but I'll make sure I use the right one.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
Oh, I kind of had a question. We are supposed to present 2 different ideas for our group project.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to be assigned the group project, or are we going to be able to choose from those 2
Oh,
that
no,
we present?
you will choose.
Okay.
You're going to send me 2 ideas and tell me how you're going to approach them. And I'll offer some feedback. You may go light in one area, or usually how you use Ajax and local storage is what catches people. And so I'll usually say, have you thought what you're going to put in the local storage, how you're going to use that, how will you do this or that. And then with those suggestions, usually it's very rare that I say Proposition A is not going to work at all, unless it's because of too much scope. So I usually give some comments and then say, you guys choose one and let me know.
All right. That's what I was wondering, because I feel like as a group we've kind of narrowed down what we want to work on. So, but we'll need to make sure to present 2 different options.
Yeah. Do that at your leisure, but it's nice to get it out of the way so that you can think about it as you're continuing to learn the code topics.
Now, I have a question as well. When we are graded on a coding topic, does that show up in iLearn?
Yes.
Okay. And so assume we do a coding topic and we don't get a grade we would like. Are we allowed? I assume because there's not like an official set due date, can we like update it and submit that in a future learning portfolio? And
Absolutely.
Grade? Okay, great.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Okay, let's see. Let me see. I think here in just a few minutes, I saw you guys were meeting, so I kind of stopped doing my grading here for a while. But I've been doing grading, and I have almost everybody done except for 3 students. So, looking, you should see that and I always put my comments under I'm trying to bring it up here while I talk with you, in the code topics section of iLearn. In fact, what I have,
Can you give me that?
I'm going to click on your name, Michael.
Can you give me that?
Okay.
Give me that.
And I'll kind of tell you, everybody
No, no.
as a whole, what I've got here. Where you at? There you are. Oh, I haven't graded anything from you. Do I have your URL to?
You have my website, and what my website had was just links to my code. It did not have my code actually hosted on my site yet.
Let's see. Yeah, I see I've got your URL. It's mbutterfield.com.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But there's no links to code. Am I looking at the right page? Yeah.
I can't see your screen, but that sounds right.
At mbutterfield, there's 261 portfolio / 261 portfolio, and
Yeah.
that just has a reflection. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it is. But a link to a meeting. So I don't have links to your code yet. So that's why I have not graded anything on your code topics
And
yet.
I believe my most recent learning portfolio should be mbutterfield.com / 261 portfolio without the 261 portfolio. I fixed that.
Just butterfield.com portfolio? Or is it,
mbutterfield.com / 261 portfolio, I believe.
oh, just, okay. Oh, okay. And you have some, and I see your DOM, CSS. I don't see a link. I see links to your GitHub, but not to where I can actually execute the code.
Yes, and that will be in this week's learning portfolio.
Okay. All right. Good enough. All right. I'll look for those when you submit them in iLearn.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
Okay. In fact, let me take somebody else. Who else have I got on the phone? And I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I will.
You got me.
All right, hang on. I lost. Who is the me? Who said that? Kelly?
Kelly? Yeah, you got
Okay.
me.
All right, and let me go to the grade book here for Kelly. All right. For instance, Kelly, you did some work on CSS.
Yeah.
So what I did is I put in the feedback, May 19th, CSS animation, and then I put some comments there. A lovely effect. The hover on the index page and the checkbook boxes look nice. I remember those. That looked good. So on the initial work, I don't give too much direction because I know that you've got a lot left to do. And then as you get closer to getting a full grade on it, I'll start telling you, here's what you're missing. And right now I think everybody knows they're missing a lot, so I'm not going to say well, you don't have this, and you go, oh, I know I didn't have that, so.
Okay, great. So, Brother James, as you're looking at mine, I am sharing my screen right now.
Yes.
Is this what you're wanting right here?
Well, that is just that. The code topics is where you're going to create a page to demonstrate your proficiency with local storage or with DOM. It's not. I also want to see your teaching presentations, but that kind of goes against your professionalism. The code topics is where I actually see where you are putting the code, what you've learned about DOM, into work, into action.
Okay. All right.
Let me see if I currently have one of the students out here that I can. No, I don't have any current sites up where I was grading somebody. Let me look really quick and see if I can see somebody who's got a good example of what I'm looking for, and I'll share my screen.
Oh, okay, sure.
And I am not gonna. It's going to take a half a minute, and I don't want to slow your class down. Okay, here, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take over the screen. Okay. All right, for instance, can you see this sandbox, this CIT261 portfolio?
Yeah.
This is a very, very simplistic example but it's sufficient. I actually do not care to see, this student here has copies of other people's animation. I don't need to see that. I only care about, this is his example of CSS animation self. This is his own code. And so I click on that link and it's got a very simple animation.
Okay.
And then here's his DOM. And that's very, very simple DOM stuff going here.
So when it comes to seeing examples of our own code, that's what you're looking for, and then you
Right.
could just click on like the tools if you wanted to see the actual code. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. If I want to see what's happening here,
You'll just inspect the elements yourself.
I'll look at that and go, oh, that's kind of clever. What's he got going there? All right, he's doing a flip. I love flips, by the way. They are a bit of a challenge. And I'll go and see, go walk through the code.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense, because I was thinking that you wanted more like what Kelly has on his.
Okay. Yeah, there's Doctor Who. So I don't, looking at your GitHub is not helpful because it's not working. Whereas this is nice. I see that there's a color transition, here's a size transition, here's a flip, and then if looking at this, I think, okay, yeah, that's very good. They did a good job on that, and this individual will get good points for CSS transformations. And then, like on local storage, I'll always go do a look at, does he have any local storage here? On local storage, I always do a right-click, inspect element, just so I can see what you have there. And sometimes on the local storage, if it's just basic, just a single string, that's not nearly sufficient. You need to be storing a JSON object, something richer. Anything else that might be helpful to you? Let's see if this student's got something in. Okay, so here's somebody else's example. And they don't have too much here yet. But you can see here's the things they want me to grade, and it's easy to click on them.
Okay.
Those examples are very helpful.
They are, yeah.
And that's what I tried to show with my let's see, let me go to my local host here. One of those early videos I showed you where I've got this is my playground where I play with things. Now you're going to have just the code topics, and I've got lots of things here. Here's my DOM tree stuff that I demonstrated the other day. Oops, wrong one. And this is the one where I kind of put it all together for a joint activity we did with our young men and women.
Okay.
So this would be something that you could do at to kind of show I'm bringing it all together here. I've got CSS, I've got some DOM manipulation. Here's the local storage. I put all the questions for our Jeopardy game here in local storage. And then I've got some fixing to do on things. But anyway, so this is kind of what I'm looking for. Just give me an index page that's got all the different topics.
Okay.
There's some that doesn't look like DOM at all. That looks like
CSS.
Yeah, I don't know where that's definitely not. But anyway, the idea is here's the things that you're going to be graded on, and I take a look at it and I'll integrate in iLearn.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Let's see, that's an ugly one. So, okay, hopefully that helps. Maybe I'll put out another little. I'm still seeing a lot of GitHub links being submitted, so maybe I'll put out a little mini video again today.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I miss some of the videos too because I'm trying to. I don't know. I feel like somehow some of the things that are posted on Google Plus. I miss sometimes, and I don't know. I'm trying to juggle iLearn 2 and iLearn 3 and Google Plus, and so sometimes I feel like I miss stuff. So I don't know how to explain that very well.
Well, there's a lot going on. Mostly, I post everything in the What Brother James Wants Me to Know tab, and sometimes I try to over-communicate, which sometimes can drown you, so I apologize for that, but
that's okay.
I'll try and keep things to a minimalist approach.
That would be good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, you guys?
That's it from me.
That's it.
All right, I'm going to go back to grading. I'm going to jump out of the meeting. You guys have a good meeting, and I'll be looking forward to it.
Thank you. That's helpful.
See you guys.
I really appreciate you clarifying what's needed on our code submissions.
Okay. Yeah, it takes 2 or 3 weeks. I'm working on a document called Xanax for 261, and you guys aren't going to benefit from it, but I'm trying to take all the questions that I get and get them to the students up front so that it's clear from day 1 or week 2 or 3 anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good meeting.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 That was really helpful. I had no idea what we were really supposed to be giving to each week, so yeah.
Yeah, that was very helpful. I'll go ahead and, since it's already almost 10, I'll run through my document object model manipulation presentation.
That would be great.
So I guess in order to understand this, it's kind of, in Brother James' video, he explains this a lot better than I did. But when a web page is loaded, the browser creates a document object model of the page, and the HTML DOM model is constructed as a tree of objects, if that makes sense. So if you think of a website, Like, let's say you go to my website, mbutterfield.com/mypage.html. So that HTML, or the root element, is the document. And then within that HTML page, there's the head element and the body element. And inside the body element, there's like links. You can see the A, and there's headers, and there's text. And inside the head element, there's the title attribute. And so that's kind of how the browser sees the HTML document. It sort of is in this hierarchical form. It sees the hierarchy. So where the manipulation comes in is you select a layer of that hierarchy, I guess, and you can manipulate it using this document object model. So with the document object model, JavaScript gets all the power it needs to create dynamic HTML and manipulate it. So JavaScript can change all the HTML elements or attributes, and it can change the CSS, and it can remove existing HTML elements and attributes and add them, and it can react to existing HTML events on the page, and it can also create a new HTML event. So I don't have examples of all of these, but I have some examples of what I understood the best. So let me find where I was playing with this. So, for example, in the code here, DOM can change CSS coloring, and I just use some static buttons and put the DOM inside a function. So you can change it to red or blue, or you can change it to green. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then DOM can change what an element says. So for example, this is like an H4 or a header 4 HTML element. And so when you click on it, the DOM can change it. This H4 element was changed using DOM. How cool is that? And you can also do it with like a hover. So this one below it, or hover here to see, is the same, but with a hover instead of clicking it. So kind of how this works, this is not too much code, and it's pretty easy to understand, which I like. I like it when code is like that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I have like my in the header 4 where that you can change the color, I put the ID as change color, and that's kind of the key, because then within the script, I just make these functions that use the get element by ID, and then I use the change color ID, which is found in this header, and I just put a style.color is red, and then I call that function on an on-click button. So really, you could do like, instead of doing get element by ID, you could do like your whole website, get element by ID, and then like put your entire website in an ID, like whole page, and you could change everything to red. And just by clicking on a button. And then with the on-click, where it changed the HTML wording, it's in this line of code here on line 36. It's basically you just do inside the element, the H4, you put an on-click attribute and put this dot inner HTML, and then with the on-click you do equals, so then put it what you want it to say in quotes. And then with hover, it's the same, but you have two functions. So my functions are hover and not hover. So when the hover is there, it says what the hover function says, and then when you're not hovering over it, it says what the not hover function says. So it's pretty easy stuff, but it's really cool because you can manipulate so many things on the web page. And I think since we have like flashcards, it might be, I mean,
That would be a really easy way to
like,
handle the flashcards.
yeah, you could click on a flashcard or something, and it would change the text from the question to the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe just for fun, we could choose what color we want our flashcards. I don't know.
Yeah, they could style their own flashcards for fun or something.
Yeah. But that is some basic things you can do with DOM. Does anybody have any questions?
Nope, that was pretty good for walking me through it. Oh crap. Sorry guys.
Yeah, I liked your different examples too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just really fast, I was supposed to present on Ajax this week, and I've kind of got some stuff on it, but I don't have my own code example yet because I'm still trying to make sense of Ajax. But do you guys want me to walk you through what I have?
I'd like to see it because yeah, Ajax is. I briefly looked at it, and that one, it's a little more scary than the others.
Yeah,
for me,
Ajax for me is it's really hard for me to wrap my mind around things that I can't exactly see. So so I'm slowly working through it, but I can show you what I have. I basically found a website that I thought explained it pretty well, and I've made notes off of that website, but I'll start working on a code. I'll show you what I have, and then, yeah. Then we can be done, if it's okay with you guys. So.
Yeah,
that sounds great. Yeah.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So Ajax means, it stands for, have either of you done anything with Ajax before? Because I never have.
I have not. No, I've never even heard of it until this class.
Yeah, me either. So this is really new for me. But Ajax stands for Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So basically what it means is that, oh my gosh, sorry guys. My phone is connected to my computer. I don't know if you guys can hear those or not. Anyways, Ajax is connected to, or never mind. Totally got confused about where I am. Anyways, Ajax is basically an object that communicates with server-side scripts. So what you would do is create an XML HTTP request object, and your computer would communicate with the server to request that information without ever reloading the page. So you can receive and send information in a lot of forms, including JSON and XML, HTML, and text files. And it's asynchronous, meaning you can do it without refreshing the page. And that's the main thing from what I've understand with Ajax, is that what it does is it takes just a little piece of the page and it refreshes the information on that page to grab information from the server. So two key features is server requests without refreshing and receiving the information without refreshing. So here's just some pseudocode. The important thing that you have to remember to put in is the HTTP request, and then you assign the function and the name that you want. So what it would do is process the server response, basically. And then the other thing you need to remember to do is open and send the functions. So what you want to get from the file, and then what you want to send back to the file, or back to the server. So the entire code, when it's created, would look something like this pseudocode, which if the HTTP request is in a certain state, and it will call for the information that you've requested. And if that's not ready, then else. Anyways, that's basically all I have on Ajax so far. And I'm working on coming up with a example, but I'm just not there yet. I'm still working through understanding it. So I'm sorry. But
no, we appreciate what you have so far. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll post,
and especially since.
Yeah. I'll post what I have so that you guys can look at it and make notes if it's useful at all. And then I'll continue working on finding examples and working through examples. So hopefully it'll come in handy.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else before I stop the recording?
That's all I had for today. So.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Oh, wait, before I do, are we planning on next week? Should we shoot for 10 o'clock on Thursday morning?
Yeah, I think that's what works best for everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Looks
Okay.
good for me.